Hello soulmates, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be sharing with you guys how to make this elegant side pleated dress with flap in front using the freehand cutting. No pattern, no stress at all. I will also guide you guys on step by step from marking directly on the fabric to adding these beautiful side pleats that gave this dress its signature shape. I'll also show you guys how you can make your sleeve look fuller. So get your sewing tools, and if you're yet to hit the subscribe button, kindly do so and turn on your notification bell to be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you find this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up so that other people get to see it. Do not forget to share, and let's cut and slay this look together. I made use of 2 yards of a crepe fabric, and I would also be using this lining to line the dress. Note that you have to add enough allowance on this since it is a freehand cutting. From the shoulder line, I marked the chest line 8 inches, bust line 10 inches, under bust 13, waist 16, hip 24, and then the length is 33 plus 1 inch, which made it 34 inches. So after marking that, I'll mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. I'll come down by 1 inch and just connect it into the neckline. Okay, so I'll just mark 3 inches for the neckline. We don't even need this upper part. Okay, and then I'll come to the chest line and mark half of my shoulder measurement, okay, in order for us to have a straight line. Then I'm going to measure what I have here on my armhole line, and then go in by ½ inch on the midpoint, and then on the chest line I'm going to mark my bust circumference measurement, and then I'm going to just draw out my armhole curve. Forgot to mention that the fabric is folded into two, and to know the amount of fabric to fold, divide the biggest part of your body measurement and add about 4 to 3 inches to the measurement. So after doing all of this, next thing I'll be doing is to come to the waistline. I will mark my nipple to nipple. Now, because we are cutting directly on the fabric, I used 4 inches. Okay, I added ½ inch to my bust span. Okay, so do the same. So from the hip line, I went up by 4 inches and I connected the lines together. Okay, so add ½ inch to your bust span. Then on the waistline, I came in by 1 inch on both sides, and on the under bust I repeated the same thing. So I'll connect it into a straight line like this, and then I'll move it all the way down like this. So now also connect it to the bust point. Okay, so this is what it is looking like. Next thing I'll be doing now is to go up from the chest line by 1.5 inches. Okay, and I'll connect it into a straight line. After doing that, I'll extend the nipple line all the way up, and then I'll take ½ inch on both sides. So after doing that, so I'll mark the ½ inch on both sides like this, and I'll connect this to the bust points like so. After doing that, next thing we'll be doing now is to just mark here. I'll come in by ½ inch. Okay, you can do 1 inch depending on how wide you want the slit to be, and then for the length of the slit I use 2.5 inches. So I'll connect it like this. Okay, so you can use more than ½ inch, okay, depending on how open you want it to be. And then on this armhole area, I'll come in by ½ inch. This is to just tighten it a bit. So this is it, and then now we'll mark our body measurement. I already placed my bust line here, so I added 1.5 inches to this. So please add enough allowance. So I came to the waist, marked my waist measurement, and then I replaced the dart intake and I added my 1.5 inches. I came to the hip, marked the hip, and then added 1.5 inches measurement. So whatever thing you have on your hip line, you take it down to the length. So from the waistline, come down by 2 inches, and then from the length of your dress, go in by 2.5 inches, and then connect this together. Okay, so this is what I have after connecting it. So measure what you have from here to this side. Okay, then you divide it equally. Okay, after you measure, you divide it equally. So I am going to divide mine in 4 places. So I'll just mark 2 2 inches interval. So I divided mine in 4 places, and I'll rule it into a straight line. So after doing this, I'll go ahead and label it. Okay, so ensure you label this, it is very important. Now we'll cut it out. So cut out this top part first. After cutting it out, so just watch how I am cutting it so that you don't end up making mistake when cutting yours. So I'll keep this aside, and I'll also cut the center front. So I'll be cutting out the dart, obviously. So this is what I have for the front piece. Okay, I'll use this to cut on the fabric. So now for the back, I placed my tape, marked my chest line 8 inches, waist 16, hip 24, and then length 34. Okay, so this is the zipper allowance. All our measurements will be taken from the zipper line. So I'll mark the shoulder line, just what we did for the front. Came down by 1 inch, and I'll just connect it like so. Connect the chest line, mark the same shoulder 7, and then connected it, and then I'm going to mark my bust span here, and then I'll draw the armhole for the back. And then after doing that, I'll come down, go up by 1.5 inches like so, and then I'll come to the waist. I'll mark my nipple to nipple measurements on the waistline, and I'll take ½ inch on both sides. After doing that, I'll mark the same nipple to nipple line on the chest line, and then I'll connect it all the way like this. Then I'll come to the hip line. I also mark the same nipple to nipple all the way to the length of the dress. After doing that, I'll connect this ½ inch to the chest line, and then from the hip line I went up by 3 inches, and then I'll connect the dart to the 3 inches as well. After doing that, next thing I'll be doing is to come in by ½ inch, just what we did for the front, like so. And then I'm going to impute the stitching allowance of 1.5 inch. I'll come to the waist, the same thing. I'll replace this dart that I took. Okay, I'll replace the dart, and I'm going to add stitching allowance as well. Connect it, and I'll come to the hip, mark my hip circumference measurement, and I'm going to add my stitching allowance to it. So I'll just take this line all the way down. So after doing that, I'll come to the waist, just what we did for the front, come down by 2 inches, and here I'll go in by 2.5 inches, and I'll also connect it. To connect it, I'm going to use the front piece, okay, because it has to be the same. Okay, so I'll just use the front piece as a guide to draw this out. So this is what I have. Okay, so just go ahead and do the same thing we did for the front piece, and this is it. So to get rid of zipper bulge, go in by ½ inch and connect it downwards like this, and also upwards like so. After doing this, label it and then cut it out. Okay, so watch how I am also cutting the back piece so that you don't end up making mistakes. So I'm going to cut the center back and now the side back. So this is what we have. Now we'll use this to cut on the fabric. Do not forget to cut out your zipper bulge as well. So I've cut it out on my fabric, and this is the front piece. So my front piece is on fold. That is the center front. It is on fold, and this is how it is looking like. Okay, the center front, and I'll place it right side facing right side like this, and I'll stitch it down using half inch. Remember we added half inch to our nipple to nipple, so I'm going to stitch it down using half inch. I'll repeat the same thing for the lining piece as well. And for the back, I've cut it out as well. And what I will do now is to open this up. I'll open this up and I'll keep the lining piece. So now this is the zipper side. Okay, this is the zipper side. If you might be confused, you can go ahead and make notches. Okay, so just in case you will be confused, so this is what I'm going to do now. I'll just place it like this and stitch it down. Okay, place the side back and the center back, and then you stitch it. So this is the back piece and this is what it is looking like. So this is the lining. I have also done the same for the lining. Place it right side facing right side and you stitch the top part. Okay, so I'll just show you guys where to stitch. Now note that you are stitching using 1/4 of an inch, okay, because we did not add stitching allowance. Okay, so you stitch the top part and then the zipper area as well. Okay, so you just stitch it a little bit, the top part and then the zipper area and also the side. So this is the front piece. For the front, I also have the lining. You can see this bustier effect that it has. I love it so much. So what I will do now is to, there's a flap in the front, so we have to create that flap before joining it with the lining. To do that, place your fabric on another fabric like so, preferably maybe your lining, and then to make that, all you need to do is to go in by half inch on your fabric. From that, your slit you have in front, go in by half inch like this. Can you see? So then you go ahead and trace out these parts, okay, all the way to the armhole. So go in by half inch. After doing that, remove your fabric, then come down by 4 inches. Then you just connect it into a straight line like this, and then you draw this side as well. So after doing that, now on this part, go in by half inch again, and then you just slant it upwards like so. So that is it for the creating of the flap. So I'll just cut this out. So I'll use this to cut on my fabric and I'll be cutting 4 pieces. Okay, so this is it, and I have 2 for each. This is 2 and this is also 2, right side facing right side. And now I'll stitch the down part like this. Okay, so I'll stitch the down part and also this side just using 1/4 of an inch. Then I'll flip it to the right side. Okay, so after stitching it, this is what it is looking like. You can top stitch at the top if you want to. So now I'm going to place it on the dress like so, and to place it I'll also take out that half inch. Okay, so from this slit again I'll mark out half inch, so I'll be placing it from that half inch. Do you understand? Remember that half inch we took earlier when drafting it out. So from this half inch I'll place it like so, so it will fit the dress perfectly. And I'll repeat the same thing for this other side as well. I'm going to come in by half inch like this, and then from that half inch I'll place the flap like so. So after stitching, I am going to bring the lining and place it on top of it, right side facing right side. So when I'm stitching, I'll arrange it properly. I am just demonstrating it here. Okay, so I'll just place it right side and you stitch the top part. From this top part you stitch the V neckline, stitch the other top part, okay, like this, and then you stitch the side. Okay, so that is just where I'll be stitching top part, the V, and then the side. So this is it for the front. This is the flap neatly fixed and this is what it is looking like. Okay, so and this is the back. So I'll fix the zipper for the back. So my zipper will stop around somewhere here. Okay, after fixing the zipper for the back, this is it. Now I'm going to bring the front piece and place it right side facing right side. Okay, so you just align it properly, make sure that it is right side facing right side, and then you first of all measure to know how much allowance you have left. Don't just stitch it down using the, we added 1.5 inches, but you have to measure. So after measuring, I discovered that what I have left is 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 inch on both sides instead of 1.5 inches. So you have to do this. Okay, so just mark, so I mark the 1 inch, and then I will stitch it down and stitch it down on the other side as well. Okay, so this is what I have for the dress, looking so beautiful. So now to cut out the sleeve, my fabric is folded into two, and I have two of these, one for the two sides of the sleeves, and it is folded into two like I said. And if you notice, my sleeve was kind of short, but it was still beautiful. So if you want yours to be longer, the width I have here is 11 inches, and then the length is around 21 inches. So I'll come down by 1 inch. If you want your sleeve to be longer, then you have to use 24 inches for the length. So after coming down by 1 inch, I'm going to bring the fabric and I'm going to trace out the armhole. So I'll place it from that 1 inch mark like this, and I'll trace it all the way upwards like so. Can you see? After doing that, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Now it is the open part of the sleeve that I am cutting out, not the folded part. Okay, please take note of that. And then I'll open this up for you to see. So after opening it up, this is what I have. Now fold it into two to create channels for your elastic to pass through. So I've stitched the top and the bottom, and this is my elastic. So now the elastic I have here is 6 inches. Okay, 6 inches, and I have two for the upper part. Now for the lower part, you just measure round where your sleeve will stop like this. Okay, and then you cut out an elastic that fits perfectly. So after inserting the elastic, this is what I have. Now I'm going to attach it to the dress. So to attach this, just place it right side facing right side like this, and you follow the, because we already have the same, how do I put it, okay, for the sleeve, so it will not be difficult at all. So you flip it to the other side, placing it right side facing right side, and you also stitch it down like so. After stitching it down, turn it to the wrong side. Okay, you turn it to the wrong side, for example like this, and then you stitch it all the way down. So this is the sleeve. I have attached the sleeves, and this is what it is looking like. So now work on the gathers, and this is the two side we have. So to cut the gathers, I am using this fabric. Okay, it's folded into two, and on fold, what I have is 24 inches. Okay, so now after folding it into two, I'll further fold it again into four, just like this. Okay, and this side is the folded side. This is the folded side, right? So ensure that you work with this folded side, and this is the open side. Okay, so please take note of that, and I'll just pick one from this because they are the same thing. So I'll just pick this one, and I'm going to cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. So make sure that this your number 4 is on the folded side of this fabric. Okay, and then your number 3, then your number 2, like that all the way to, so make sure that the number 4 is on the folded part. Okay, and then I gave like about 4 inches interval for each of these. You can use more fabric if you want your gathers to be very full. So like I said, I'll be showing you how to make your gathers full. Okay, so this is what I did. Okay, so 4 inches intervals, and then I'm going to trace it out, add half inch at the top, half inch at the bottom as well, and then I'm going to trace this out. Okay, so make sure that they are aligning. So I'll also cut out this side. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to notch this midpoint. Notch it. It is very important as well. So when I open this up, this is what I have. So I'll just pick one, okay, and I have attached one. So I'm going to show you how to attach this, okay. It is not difficult. So what you need to do is to bring the piece. This is it, okay. Remember we made notch at the center, okay. So this is the notched part, as you can see. So make sure that the notched part is touching the side seam. This is the side seam of the dress. Make sure that the notched part is touching it, right side facing right side. So ensure you pin it down, okay. So that's just what I will do now. So I'll place it right side facing right side, and I'm going to just hold the and I'll just hold it down with my pin. So I'm taking my time to explain this. So after pinning it down, you can see what we have. Can you see how it is? So you flip it this way, okay. So this side, can you see this side? Now you carry it and then you place it from here, okay. Let me show you from this stitch line that you have here, okay. You carry this side, not here, this other side, can you see? And then you place it from here down. You pin it down first, and then you pin it down to this other, the length of the dress, okay, like so. And I'll hold it with my pin again. So after pinning it down, this is what it looks like, okay. So let me just open this up a bit like this. Now you run a straight stitch from here all the way to the length, right? And then this is what is left for you to gather. So you go ahead and gather this, okay. You go ahead and gather it to fit into that part that you have there. So that is just it. It is not difficult at all. So I'm going to flip it to this other side and repeat the same process. So I'm going to just carry it like this. So this side, that is the part that I'll align to the length of the dress, down to the other side of the dress, okay. Just down like this. When you are sewing, you understand, okay. So it is not difficult at all. So you just like so, and then you run a straight stitch from here to this side, and this is what is left for you to gather into this space, okay. So after doing the two sides, this is what I have. Now it is full already, but if you want it more fuller, I will show you the trick. So all you need to do is to cut out a lining that is longer than your seam. This is your inside seam, and make sure your lining is also shorter, like shorter. Then you place it on your seams like this. Can you see? Stitch it, and when you get to these gathers, you gather it as well. You gather it all the way to the other side of your seams. So that is just basically what you will do. So this is what I have after I was done. Can you see? So now you can see that it is obviously fuller, okay. So that is just what to do. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.